Oh shit! I think my neighbor sees me recording something. It's a video game review, sorta. It's not porn. I'd like to think I would close the curtains for that. Awkward. Anyway, hi, I'm Tom, and welcome to the Randomness Network. Why am I dressed like a douche? In 90-degree weather? Well, that's because today we're talking about sports. More importantly, football, and more specifically, Madden football. And why I stopped buying the game years ago, and why I think you should too. So now, starting off, there was a tragedy recently in New York, and I feel the need that, while basically shitting on the NFL, I really need to say this beforehand. As many questionable business decisions as the NFL makes, violence like we saw in New York is not acceptable. I am in no way encouraging what happened recently in New York around and to NFL employees. You can be mad at a corporation all you want. Trust me, I play punk music. I'm mad at corporations pretty much 24/7. But I do not encourage people to engage in violent behavior like we saw. That being said, it's time to piss on the NFL and EA Sports. And we need to see a divorce. You know, like I say to a lot of people who are going through nasty breakups and nasty divorces, there's no such thing as a bad divorce. There's no such thing as a bad breakup. Because if it was a good relationship, they'd still be together. It's very simple. Well, the EA NFL relationship, marriage, whatever you want to call it, they need a divorce because they're not putting in the work anymore. And that's what happens. That's how relationships end. It's because partners, regardless business-wise or romantic-wise, if you don't put in the work, you might as well say goodbye. So, when I was 17 years old, Madden NFL 12 came out. Sorry about the glare on the screen. I am working with what I got. I do not have a fancy studio. Madden NFL 12 comes out. And as I said, I am a plucky 17-year-old. Looked a lot like this, believe it or not. There's a little bit of aging here and there. Thank you, natural lighting, for exposing me to that. Glad I still have sunglasses and a hat on. But when the game came out in 2011, I was shockingly disappointed. And to keep the video kind of short, because I've already rambled more than I want to in this video, we're just going to go by the game modes, and I'm going to give you an overall reason of why I think the EA and NFL relationship needs to end. Namely because they're just not working on it anymore, like I said. But I want to give some specifics. Now, we're going to start off with the extra content. I do not care about extra content in a sports game. Outside of create a player or create a team, I don't care. So, all that stuff where people are like, well, they have this and they have that. Well, you don't even have create a team on NFL 12. Why? Because the Xbox Live hookup, whatever you want to call it, it is gone now. So if you play Madden NFL 12 on the Xbox 360 like I do, because I like my classic gaming, the technology has moved beyond the special features. That's an L right off the bat. If your special features have an expiration date because you need an internet hookup to make them work, no. No, you get an L for your special features. And the only one I ever used was create a team anyways. So the fact that I can't do it now, L. Now we go to the game modes, the actual game modes. So we'll do the obvious one first, the play now or play a game or whatever they call it in Madden NFL 12. I'm not putting up gameplay stuff. I don't have the hardware for it right now. When I do, I would really like to and give an actual full-on review of this game. But this isn't a review of Madden NFL 12 as much as it is why I stopped buying the game. So the play now mode, it's hard to screw up. All right, the AI in this game is not great at all. But it's not egregious. And the game is still playable. The AI is functional enough to where it makes the game it's still a Madden game. Now, I will say this because we're getting right into like the gameplay and all that. I don't like Chris Collinsworth as a commentator. Not in real life, and not in a video game. You know what? Especially in a video game, because he says the same 5 things over and over again, which, you know what? you understand that and you get it when you play sports games that have commentary, but it's too much like real life because he only says the same 5 things when he's doing the actual commentating in real life. And this brings up my big main point about not buying these games anymore. Madden's not doing the commentating. Madden has not been doing the commentating since at least 2011. He's not here. His name is here. That's it. No Madden commentary. Madden and Al Michaels are half the reason people bought the game anyways, because the color commentary made the game more fun. Okay, I wouldn't say half the reason, but it was a good chunk of the reason people were buying the game. But the biggest reason is they want to play the football game. That's just how it is. So that's kind of the play a game or play now sort of mode. Very easy. It's not hard to, be successful with. And I don't play it. I don't use it. I don't have people over to play the 360 anymore as much as I probably should because it would be a lot of fun. But that's kind of like the, non-online, let's play together, play with your friends. That sounds weird. The co-op with your friends sort of thing at home. So the next thing we'll get into is franchise mode. So there's really only 3 modes in this game as far as I'm concerned that people regularly come back to, and it's the Play Now mode where you just play one game, franchise, and NFL Superstar. Now, franchise has been a fan favorite since the mid-2000s, maybe sooner. As soon as franchise mode came out, most people liked it. They wanted more. They wanted it expanded upon. And when I was a kid, especially in like 06 and 08 and 10, Madden really got this right most years. Hey, break it up, cats. Hey, knock it off. Cats are fighting. So, franchise mode. Where do I even start? Do I start at the terrible music? Because the music... In franchise mode, you're listening to the music a lot. You're doing stuff in the menus. And the longer you play Madden NFL 12, the more you realize pop culture music in 2011 really sucked. I mean, it was not good. I'm not a huge hip-hop fan. I like some hip-hop, but I don't really like pop music, so I'm probably a little biased in all this. But even the metal music in it wasn't good. And that's not to crap on the metal artists who, had contributions in it. Like, there's a Five Finger Death Punch song in it, and I'm not a huge Five Finger Fruit Punch fan. But the song that they use for Five Finger Death Punch is pretty good. I will admit to that. But I would say 1 out of every 5 to 8 songs is something I'd actually want to listen to. And that's just me being biased. But I feel a need to mention that because the music in Madden has gotten progressively worse over the years. When I see reviews of the newer Madden games and I hear the music that's going on and the streamers that have the courage to not take it off of there, I am like, wow, I'm so glad I don't listen to the radio anymore because that is bad, whatever they're putting on there. But getting into the actual gameplay, you know what? No, we're not going to get into the actual gameplay because I'm going to bitch about the menus in franchise and across the game in general. They are lifeless. They are 90s kid walking into a present-day McDonald's losing my soul lifeless. That's how bad the menus are. They are terrible to navigate because they are uninteresting and they are way too simplified. They are simplified for the lowest common denominator to play this game. If you're an idiot and you can't operate the franchise mode, there are actual football simulation games out there for like owning a team that are 10 times more complicated than Madden has ever been, even at its peak difficulty as far as its learning curve for franchise. It's not that bad. You don't need simplified menus. A lot of the stuff, you can't even look up certain stats and records that I would like to see. It's just dead. It's lifeless. Now, I did like that they made it so you can manage as many teams as you want, and they kept most of the team control with you. But I did notice that things would get simulated that I didn't want to get simulated. And they still simulate stuff if you don't mess with it in a certain way, or if there's like a certain deadline or whatever. They'll just start making moves for you, which kind of pisses me off a little bit. But franchise mode, despite the fact that it's not imaginative, It's the same Drek from the years before, but it was simplified. The menus are lifeless. The music sucks. It still operates the way that it's supposed to. It's still a franchise mode that operates the way that it's supposed to. So I got to give it the W on that one. It's a win. The franchise is a win, despite the fact that it's cold and lifeless and it's losing its edge. However, the third and final game mode we're going to talk about today, and I'm going to try to do this quick. The NFL Superstar mode. The one that I loved the most as a kid because I was the little narcissist that thought he was going to be playing football, despite the fact that I am 6'2", 145 pounds at the most at any given time, and always have been since I was a teenager. Wasn't going to have an NFL career, so that was the closest I was going to come to it, was playing it on a video game. So I go back to it. Figured how I'll relive old times. And then I thought to myself and thought, I don't remember playing this mode on this game when I was younger. It seems the same. It doesn't seem all that different. It was. Badly so. So I start it. And oh God, where do you even begin? I want to keep this video lower than 20 minutes, but where do I even begin? I guess where I'll begin is where you start. You make your player, and they basically just simulate all the traits for you. And that's crap. Like, I would like to be able to manipulate, like, I like to be honest about my own ability, and then just build the stats from there. Like, I'd make myself a shitty football player. I'd have to work my way up to, like, third string or whatever. No, you're, like, around the 60s or 70 percentile as far as your rating. Starting off. And I could forgive that because it is kind of in the lower level of skill range where you're going to have to work your way up. You don't have to work your way up in this game. When you get drafted, if the quarterback who's starting on the team beforehand is a 92 rating and you're a 65 rating, for whatever reason, the game thinks, oh, because you're the one playing it, we don't want to simulate it and bore you, you get to be first string automatically. No, let me fight for the position. Let me build my skill level so I can earn that. And if I don't earn that, give me the ability to sit on the bench long enough to have my moments of like, yeah, it's Brucey's time to shine, first stringer's hurt, I'm coming in. Build yourself some stats, build yourself a little portfolio for the next team that might show some interest in you if it doesn't work out where you're drafted. It would be nice. It'd be nice if you'd be able to do that. It's realistic. People want the real football simulation of coming up through the ranks. And by the way, I'm an NCAA football fan through and through as far as the video games. You can import your old character to the Superstar mode, but the problem with that is they simulate your skill level anyway. It's the same thing. That 4 years you played on the previous game means nothing as soon as you upload that character to the Madden. You're basically starting over from scratch right away. But it's okay. You're going to start no matter what. And why? Why would they do that? Why would you do that? You've taken all the realism out of the game. Now, it doesn't end there. The most egregious thing, and this was the final straw that broke the camel's back with this game with me. My first year, I played all the way through the season, got some accolades, team didn't go to the playoffs. Okay, fine, cool. Call it a building year and move on. You're not going to turn the team around in 1 year. Not as one player. So, I play my second year. We get to the playoffs. Wild card round. We win the wild card round. Well, in my second year, I also made the Pro Bowl, which I kind of impressed myself with that. I was like, oh, cool. Like, I second year in, and I can still play this game well enough to where I can get in the Pro Bowl the second year. It simmed over round 2 of the playoffs. Yeah. That means I played the pointless Pro Bowl game and didn't get to play in the playoffs because of it. Gone. It was a coding error. The season was over. As soon as I played the Pro Bowl, You know what my options were? Start next season. All that effort for nothing. That's a lot of gameplay and wasted hours of, like, in real life time that I wasn't appreciative that was wasted. And this is a game that has had, by 2011, over 10 years to get it right. And it's not because they're incompetent. I've refused to believe that. I refuse to believe that around 2010, the NFL and EA licensing partnership was so incompetent and so stupid and underfunded that they just didn't care. No. They didn't care because they didn't care. Not because they were incompetent. They knew that idiots were going to buy the game every year, regardless on how good or bad it was. They didn't fix the problems from years prior. I would take Terrell Davis from Madden NFL 2006 constantly spamming your inbox with, what was it, like flip phone messages back then in 2005? Of just pointless crap. Like, hey man, you gotta go train. Hey man, where you been? Hey man, here's some advice that is not pertinent to what your character's going through right now. I would take that, because I love Madden 06, but that was my biggest bump with the Superstar mode, which they fixed. But it would be nice if I could play every game of the season that matters. But because you didn't code your game right, I never want to play Superstar mode in that particular chapter of Madden ever again. And when that happened, I realized, wow, this is what people are going through now with Madden NFL. And it's been over 10 years again. It is 2025, people. It has been 14 years. 14. I think. I don't know. My math's not great. But it's over 10 years. Like 13 years. Whatever. I'm probably wrong on both counts. I don't care. The ballpark of that time frame is still unacceptable. What are we doing? What are we doing as consumers? What are we doing as people who develop games? What are we doing as executives for a professional sports company? What are we doing? Why are we allowing this to go on? Why are we allowing incompetence into our organizations? Why are we allowing the same product to rob us of $70 to $80 every year? Why are game companies like EA even entertaining this anymore? So stop buying these games. Stop it. Do what I did in 2011 and do this. See this? It's gone. Now, immediately I will pick it up and put it back in my collection on the ones I don't play. But as I've been seeing these new reviews for Madden 24 or 25 or whatever fucking chapter of this game we are on now, every time I see this, I think of this game. I think of Madden NFL 12. I think the game series has been dead since at least 2011. Why are people still propping it up with their money? So in closing, let the license die. Don't buy the game. If you do, you're part of the problem. Don't be an idiot. Do not buy these games every year. I would say don't buy them again. I want competition like NFL Fever, 2K, and NFL Blitz back. I want competition. I want diversity in my product. I want choice in my product. And when I say diversity in my product, I want football brought to me in very different ways from very different platforms and very different companies. I don't want one asshole sitting on the top of the pile monopolizing it anymore. Because you know what? That's what's wrong with everything. That's what's wrong with music. That's what's wrong with film. That's what's wrong with TV. That's what's wrong with the people who make your fucking toothbrush. They have a monopoly on it. And they don't care about you as the consumer. They don't care about you as a person. And they don't care about the product. Full stop. Don't buy the game. Don't encourage this partnership from EA and the NFL anymore. Let it go. As Bill Burr would say, it's like that awkward moment in curling. You just let it go. On that note, like, comment, subscribe down below. Any kind of game series you'd like me to touch on. Like I said, maybe I said it. I've done this video a few times, but if I have forgotten to say it, Call of Duty, GTA, they're next. Videos are going to be just like this. I'm just going to sit here talking and ranting. Video's been 20 minutes at this point, so I'm editing this bitch down as far as I possibly can. I had a lot of stops and rehashing of stuff. As I've said earlier, I hope I have the second part of that docu-series of running a record label and all of that, and doing a few other things on the channel. I'm just uploading when I can. I don't want to get to the second part of the docu-series until I'm fully through the current phase I'm in. I don't want to rehash old ideas and just make you guys think that you're being strung along for the same topic over and over again. I want to bring fresh product to you guys, and that's what I intend to do, even if I have to do it on this duct tape and glue studio type thing that I'm going to constantly be upgrading. And I have a new day job, so I'll be able to do that. And that's pretty much it. I hope to see you guys in the next video. I hope that you like my little rant here. I'm not really a big sports person. Obviously, I don't know. I don't know if I look like a sports person. Tried to with my old Steelers hoodie. But this is just something, it's a problem in all products now, and I really wanted to bring it to the table. So I hope to see you guys in the next video. I'll be ranting like this again real soon, and stay safe out there.